Oh hey, didn't see you there. You'll... Glitches. Glitches. A malfunction that breaks the reality of a game or system. Basically, something that's not supposed to happen. From duplicating items, or walking through walls, which you aren't supposed to do by the very nature of the invention. Or when your game just... proceeds to unexist. Glitches have always been seen kind of taboo in a way, which is understandable. A lot of people don't tend to enjoy this in their game the price of 9 Taco Bell My Cravings boxes. So tell me, if glitches are so undeniably terrible, then why are people getting mad whenever they're getting patched out of games like Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach and Pokemon Brilliant Diamond, despite the fact that Pokemon fans will just literally never be quenched? Glitches, being things that should never happen, are like gaming's own shooting star, adding a little bit of spice to a normal run of an average game, which, to be fair, one of those spices could be salt, but we're going to take a moment and look past the salt and look at the turmeric. I chose turmeric because it's apparently good for your eyes, and we're going to be talking about visual glitches. Visual glitches are some of the most common, funniest, and harmless glitches out there, and are a shining example of what fun and positivity glitches can provide. Visual glitches are glitches that don't affect how the game is played, but affect how you see the game, aka the word visual. Like how at the beginning of Fallout New Vegas, Doc can sometimes get a kink in the old neck. Or in NFL 2K15, Christian Kirksey, linebacker for the Cleveland Browns, was like a foot tall for some reason. You don't get that in real football, Dad. Though there are some who look at the glitch glass and see it as half humorous, there are also those who look at it and see it as half immersion breaking. There are some moments where you want to be invested in a story or event, but the rest of the game decides to intervene. Like in a cinematic story like Heavy Rain, sometimes the characters' lips don't match what they're saying or don't move at all. And then other times, they won't stop.
I'm afraid that's not possible.
Visual glitches could also end up ruining the game in other aspects, such as making enemy models unseeable or invisible, those are the same word, or the camera gets moved and blocks the vision and doesn't work like a camera should. Though what I have to say to that one is try not to rely on your senses so much. Point 1 to the blind. Even games that are goofed in more ways than just visuals, still funny. Mostly in games where physics are more on the complex end, like for example in GTA Vice City, if you drive your car into this specific swing set, your car decides to do the classic jump off the swing set at the top and break its leg. But like the car version. Take pretty much any 3D Sonic game for instance, these games are gene pools for glitches. Falling through the map, being magnetically pulled towards walls, being able to infinitely jump. Oh schnat. All sorts of shenanigans which may hinder these games at times, but ultimately keep these games in the collective public consciousness for how absolutely disgustingly broken they are. Because would you rather have a broken, memorable experience, or see a game in your library you clocked 70 hours in and go, damn, I played that? Glitches also, in a lot of cases, have directly influenced the quality of games. Many beloved game mechanics started off as glitches' happy little accidents. In Minecraft, the famous creeper model was made whenever the creator Notch was making a pig and he put the torso on the wrong way. He thought it was funny. We can never go back. I wonder what the mascot of Minecraft would be if the creeper didn't exist. Would it just be like the grass block? Or the pig? In Space Invaders, your goal is to stop an incoming space fleet, or as I like to call it, exercising the Second Amendment. And when you kill the aliens, they start coming down faster. This adds more difficulty as you get more skill, and in today's standards, is pretty common game design. However, not in 1978. The whole reason the aliens get down faster is not by design, but actually because with just less stuff on the screen, the game can just run faster. Difficulty curve is a fluke! In the Civilization series, you play as a world leader who is trying to create the most powerful nation through a bunch of various different means. Whether you win through dominating your opponents militarily, dominating your opponents culturally, or just bailing on everyone else and saying, you know what, I think I'm gonna go live in space. Every leader has an aggression level, which would determine how much they are likely to mess with you, and how likely it is they're willing to go to war with you over a handful of horses, which at most is 2. Once a world leader discovers democracy, their aggression level goes down by 2 points. However, whenever the peace-loving leader of India, Gandhi, discovers democracy, he snaps. See, Gandhi starts out with an aggression level of 1, and instead of lowering it to -1, which would effectively put Gandhi into a state of comatose, it actually loops back around, so that way it gives him the maximum aggression level, which causes Gandhi to start IRL cyberbullying the other players for money, and then he would nuke them whenever they run out of money. This is what happens when you bully the quiet kid. What can I say? Gandhi hates democracy. I get it. I'm supposed to make decisions on the future of my country, and all I know is that Poliwhirl evolves with a water stone. Glitches also play an important part in arguably the most popular Smash Bros. Game of all time, Smash Bros. Melee. Now, for those of you not initiated with the scariest video game cult on the entire internet, you may be wondering, why is the second in a series of 5 games the most popular by a pretty wide margin? What about Melee makes it so unique and special? I wonder what it could be. Melee's unintended gameplay exploits became competitively standard features. Being able to take advantage of all the little holes in the game, mixed with it being one of the fastest Smash games, really made Melee have a substantially higher skill cap than many of its technically restricted brothers. Now, in Melee's case, not all of these are considered glitches. Some of them are seen as exploits. The main difference between an exploit and a glitch is that exploits are using an intended gameplay mechanic in unintended ways, while a glitch is using a fault in the coding to do something that wasn't expected. Either way, they're both all janky shit, and I like a mom trying to save on Christmas paper, I'm going to wrap them all up in one neat little bow. A movement exploit that allows you to slide around by doing this, called wave dashing, people getting an extra frame on throw hit stun based on what port the controller's plugged into. If you attack with Martha Roy on a specific stage on a frame where a tree is blinking in the background, it can just cancel your attack. There's an exploit called the Koopa Backdash Wave Slide Hoverwalk Moonland. Must I go on? Yes, actually, because most of these glitches actually go against my point. There's also the invisible ceiling glitch, Roy's one-hit KO on light characters, Nessa's jacket glitch, Ice Climber's wobble, and more probably. I don't really know about Melee other than it scares me. And this is the stuff that people love about Melee. Using glitches to increase the skill cap just increases the game's longevity and adds so much more to the game that you can learn and love. This comes with downsides to be sure, but overall these glitches and exploits keep a 20-plus-year-old game with the most active and beloved fan base, well, I shouldn't say beloved, one of the most active fan bases of any game ever, including Pikmin. Overall, I think glitches that have a lot of skill to perform, or just are well hidden, are always a plus in my book. Things you never see in a normal playthrough, but if you're in the know, you're not missing the know. I'd say the majority of beloved glitches fall into this category. A bunch of fun quirks to practice and experiment with, all in games that you've probably already played. So if you want a pure vanilla experience of Tomb Raider 2013, you can have it. But there's also something there for those who, instead of wanting to raid tombs, would like to raid the void. Glitches can be used to create fun moments, but they can also be used to alleviate the anti-fun moments that are supposed to be in games. Oh, I have to spend hours grinding for money if I want to get a cool shirt? Boom! Infinite money glitch! Oh, man, I worked so hard to get this item, and I don't want to ever use it if I might lose it. Zoom! Item duplication glitch. Ew, I hate having to recharge my stamina. I go so slow and my hands get all sweaty. Have you ever tried giving it a little whistle? Glitches can also be used to access content that may no longer be available anymore, or in some cases was never available at all. Glitches are a lot of the time the doorway between us, the players, and the little gaming secrets the developers didn't want us to get our bony little goblin hands on. Some of these we well shouldn't have access to, like this glitch called the Minus World in the original Super Mario Bros., which was a bonus level that was just a copy of World 7-2, except it infinitely repeated and it only ended when Mario died. In Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, you could do a quick ollie on your bike in the middle of the city and then take a one-way street straight to the void. This method is called tweaking, and despite the effects of the glitch, have nothing to do with hard drugs. I think. Once out of bounds, you could travel to any location in the game, including those that house limited time event Pokemon such as Darkrai and Shaman. Or if you wanted to, you could just go to the end of the game. Which, if all you look forward to in gaming is the ending credits, then boy do I have a gameplay style that's called speedrunning just for you. Speedruns are people going through games as humanly fast as possible, and you don't want to waste time by playing the game, when you can simply just warp to the ending credits by putting down an invisible rock in a specific corner of the starting village. It would simply be a waste of time. Glitches help keep speedrunning as flourishing as it is today, with many glitches that are used to skip large portions of the game being very difficult to pull off. This not only makes these reality-bending feats super satisfying to pull off, but also extremely jaw-dropping for casuals to watch. Mario 64 being one of the most consistently popular games to speedrun, thanks to all the complex movement options, the sandbox nature of the game, and the numerous amount of gameplay glitches that can help out speedruns. For example, Bomb Skip, which allows you to push Mario into a star using a bomb. Cannonless, which allows Mario to clip into a star without a cannon. And the backwards long jump, which allows Mario to gain so much negative speed that he can actually clip through certain objects, doors, walls, also without a cannon. Glitches, when used in the right hands, can do nothing but give power to the players. GameStop. Which is also something that glitches can do. Despite all these great features and techniques and memories that were caused by glitches, there's still a reason it was a slur in Wreck-It Ralph. Some glitches can ruin games for people. Even harmless visual glitches, time and time again, have just been seen as a lack of quality assurance. But most of the time, is it really the developer's fault whenever they didn't account for some wild fella having Yoshi lick a Toad's ass the exact frame they warped to a nearby planet, causing Yoshi's tongue to stay locked between the two planets? Because I'd say there's some leeway there. But more damaging than that are glitches that actually directly affect the gameplay. For example, in Pokemon Legends Arceus, there's a glitch that makes this stupid eggplant emoji literally impossible to catch if it was daylight at all during the battle that you encounter it in. So I have to spend all this time looking for another one because it's extremely difficult to find, and I've had this quest since the beginning of the f***ing game. In this overall genus category of glitches, we have glitches that cause unnecessary or unwanted difficulty or loss in games, such as a glitch leading you to die in a level, miss an important objective, or failing to save your progress. Or not catch Cherub. A major bummer, but like the plague, it's livable. In the next hypothetical severity tier, we have crashes. Crashes are when a game puts its digital hand on the shoulder of your IRL avatar and says, "Why don't you log off for me, buddy?" Though a fate possibly worse than a crash is when you get soft-locked, which has the same consequences as a crash, but it's on you to pull the cord. Soft-locking is basically whenever a game gets stuck with no way to progress. The only ways out of a soft lock are to return to the main menu, reverting to a previous save, or in some rare cases, deleting your save file. Crashes and soft locks are some of the most inconvenient and annoying results of glitches out there. Not only can it cause you to lose all momentum in a play session, but it could also cause you to have to redo parts of the game that you already played. Which could be doubly annoying if it was that 1 in a million run where you just barely make it by the skin of your teeth and you have to do it all over again. Soft locks can often be more dangerous than regular crashes in a lot of cases, especially in games with autosave, or just in case you happen to be at the bottomless pit of a bottomless pit of a bottomless pit when you realize, perhaps I should save. You may be left with the only option to delete your save file, which glitches could also decide to do for you. Save files could often be corrupted or erased due to some more reactive or unstable glitches. Ones that cause the entire game to get a little goofy. Glitches that cause these massive corruptions are easily the most dangerous and scariest types of glitches out there. These types of glitches can alter or corrupt existing save data, completely erase any progress you have in a game, or in rare cases, could even corrupt the cartridge itself, making it completely inoperable. Many of the more physically damaging glitches came on older, more cartridge-based games, back when pins needed to touch and such. If you were to tilt the cartridge whenever the game was on, you can mess up some stuff for the worse. Or the funnier, or the worse. The cartridge tilting glitches are what creepypastas are made of. Stuff like, when I got my copy of Hey You Pikachu from the garage sale and plugged it in, instead of the cute electric mouse Pokemon coming to greet me, his face was all void and static. As he shouted my full legal name through the controller and a swarm of locusts came out the card slot. Must be a glitch, I first thought. Though games can still become broken without tilting the cartridge. For example, Pokemon Red and Blue's famous missing number glitch, or missing no. By doing a bunch of oddly specific things, you could encounter a Pokemon called Missing No, which had a type that didn't exist and whenever caught, would make your game look like what I imagine taking 9 bottles of baby aspirin would make you feel like. There's also this glitch in Earthbound where if you keep looking in this suspicious corner of a tent, baby aspirin. For better or for worse, games don't really end up that bad nowadays. Gaming as an industry has grown a lot more since 1999, and we have more advanced techniques and hardware, so that way games don't have to be held together with blue spray paint. So why are glitches still so common? Modern titles, especially new releases, have so many bugs and glitches nowadays. Like if you were streaming Marvel's Avengers, the game could dox you. It feels like many new releases don't come out as the finished product, with stuff like the FNAF Security Breach Monty glitch, which would cause the game to spawn a bunch of the animatronic Monty, and the Rainbow Six Monty glitch, which would allow Monty to shoot behind his shield. You'd think with all the tools and money at gaming companies' disposals now, that glitches in these mass quantities would be decreasing. But there's a lot more to it than that. As gaming has evolved, information about games spreads way faster than it used to. And if your team of 16 beta testers couldn't find a glitch where you pick up a bird as you climb a ladder, which would allow you to fly out of bounds so that way you could clip into a staircase underneath of a mermaid statue, then you bet your sweet Bippy one of 200,000 day one players are gonna find it and tell everybody else. Not to mention the entire gaming industry, I feel, is just at a faster pace than ever. People learn about games faster, they finish games faster, they get bored with games faster, they want more games faster, and the games come out faster. Despite being much more complex than they were a decade ago. Which gives them a lot more areas to fuck things up. And again, glitches aren't all bad. I've seen people have so much fun messing around with glitches in these newer games, and I personally feel like these glitches gave so much lifeblood to games like Security Breach, where without them, they could have just been some mediocre one and done. Instead, it's a broken mess, but at least somebody's enjoying it. And the glitches in Pokemon Brilliant Diamond offer up so many different gameplay opportunities. Like you can even access the same event-only Pokemon that you could with tweaking in the original games. Except this time, the events haven't even happened yet. Well, at least you used to be able to do that. Game patches on rushed releases seems somewhat of an industry standard nowadays. Get a game out quickly and the community will let you know the bugs and you send out a mandatory patch to fix those bugs. Is quite personally the worst of both worlds for glitches. Let's look to none other than the supposed biggest gaming disappointment of 2020, Cyberpunk 2077. A game nefarious for its bugs and glitches that for many upon release ruined the immersive experience that they were looking for. The backlash was so bad that it caused Microsoft to extend Cyberpunk's refund date on Xbox. Though the game has largely been fixed and patched in a lot of ways, you can't fix that kind of reputation. And though you can go and play Cyberpunk 2077 now, you can't play Cyberpunk 2077 on launch week ever again. And on the other side of the patch notes coin, any fun glitches that you may have in your new video games could just one day disappear. I bought Pokemon Shining Pearl because I wanted to play around with this popular menu glitch that would allow you to get out of bounds. The original vanilla game didn't look all too interesting to me. To be honest, it looked like a worse version of a game I already owned. But the menu glitch added an entirely new element that I was excited to play around with, and I thought it would be worth the $50. $50 because I bought it at Walmart, and for whatever reason their Nintendo Switch games are $10 cheaper always, and I don't understand why. But by the time I bought it, ILCA placed a hit on the menu glitch with a mandatory update patch. But don't you worry, besties. We smuggled in a tree glitch. Patching out glitches is kind of an interesting dilemma for the future history of games. Do developers of games with glitches patch them out to create a more fine-tuned experience, even at the cost of turning an interesting spectacle of a game to just another mediocre experience? You can have fun, but only in the ways the developers want. Will developers keep glitches in their games, despite for many people making the game feel less polished, unprofessional, or in a lot of cases even causing a lot of problems? Or will developers start to pick and choose which glitches they want to patch, keeping some of the more fun glitches while getting rid of the Cherrim glitch, for the love of God? Like many things in life, bad things have a good side to them. Despite glitches having this terrible reputation, I think it's important to appreciate what they've done for gaming as a whole, and how these little imperfections have made some of the best gaming memories and experiences in the entire world. Don't take more than the recommended amount of baby aspirin!
Hello, poison control. I may have taken more than the recommended amount of baby aspirin.